brought in Secondus. There was a problem, he fought it. The reason why he attacked the Yorubas on one particular occasion and insulted the Yoruba people, the PDP Yoruba wing, okay, saying they couldn't win elections and so on and so forth. How can any normal person stay in a party with someone like that? And let me tell you, now I'm very, when it comes to joining issues with people that have cult-like tendencies and have been cultists in the past and so on and so forth, I don't like doing it because I know that such people, their standards are not mine. He spoke about my father. He spoke about my family. Who the hell is his own father? What is his family? I know nothing about him. He is building bridges in River State. I'm talking about physical bridges and structures. Clap for himself, very good. He has 2 more years as governor. Can he stand as I stood for the last 14, 15 years, criticizing governments, risking his life? How many times has he been locked up? He will soon lose his immunity. Let's see what he can do. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been prosecuted by various governments. I've been locked up by various governments, and I've stood firm for my principles and what I believe in. Because I changed parties, which is something that virtually every key politician has done over the last years, including Atiku and so on and so forth, including Obasanjo, including so many people, including Buhari himself, including Tinubu. Because I choose to do that, he starts questioning my integrity. He doesn't know the meaning of the word integrity, and neither do most of these people that are talking. The most important thing for me is that I do the right thing, I do it at the right time, and I do it in the right way. And I'm talking about Nigeria now. I'm not talking about 2023. I have no interest whatsoever in 2023. This man spoke about Osun State elections. What does he know about the Southwest? What does he know? We went to election in Osun State under PDP in 2007. We won the election. When I was active, we kept winning elections in Osun State. You know very well I hardly practice politics in Osun State. I haven't been doing it for many, many years. So what is he talking about? I am here in Abuja. I am registering for APC in Abuja. We will have an election in this FCT soon, and you will see the difference that I will make, because I will campaign for morning, day and night against PDP, against Wike, not just at the local level, but also at the zonal level and also the national level. And it's at that point that I will expose Wike for what and who he really is. He's a tyrant, and he's somebody that has destroyed the PDP, and he's the reason why no less than 3 governors, number of senators, former legislators, and many more are still going to leave the PDP. I'll end with this one on Wike. He is advising Jonathan not to leave, not to go to APC and to stay in PDP. He doesn't know what has been going on behind the scenes. He knows nothing. He only hears his own words. But let me tell you, if people like Jonathan were to ever leave PDP, if, I didn't say they would because that's Jonathan's choice, it would be because of people like him. Simply because, what respect did he show Jonathan when Jonathan lost the election in 2015? What caused the loss of PDP in 2019 when they went to the field against the APC and Atiku lost? Was it not the same weekend we're talking about? Complete tyrant. So he is the last person that anybody should take seriously over any issue. I'm not in his cabinet, I'm not from his state, I'm not from his zone, I have nothing to do with him. He should stay in his lane and he should back off. I am not the kind of person you will insult and you'll be left scot-free. I can take it from most people, but not from somebody like that has such baggage. And when he continues to do this, I will respond to him forcefully every point in time, any day, anytime. He may be a sitting governor now. I'm not. I haven't been in public office for 15 or more years, but I'm still firing. And no defection from any party has created the kind of stir that mine has created over the last 2-3 weeks. That should tell him and those that think like him something. If I didn't matter, if I was of no value, why on earth is it creating such a thing? What is paining them so much? Am I his wife? Should I say, if anything, he's my wife. If anything, he should not be paid if I am of no value whatsoever. I've done more for the PDP in terms of credibility. I've done more for the PDP in the past in terms of commitment and loyalty than he can ever do. I sought to build that house, but he has destroyed it, and many more will leave because of him.
Were you friends with Nyesom Wike?
Nyesom and me friends?
Yes.
Where would we be friends? What do we have in common? We're parallel lines. He doesn't belong to the level I come from. If not for politics, where would I have met someone like that? The last time we had a one-on-one was in 2016. That was a number of years back, 2016. That's the only time he and I have ever sat together, alone. Which type of friends? I'm not his friend. I never said we were friends. I said I was friends with the governor of Cross River State. Certainly not River State. That's what I said. Then he now said, I've never been his friend. I have absolute contempt for the way he has behaved over the last few years. I kept quiet because we have a mutual friend from the Southwest who is a former governor, I won't mention his name, who kept urging me to please take it easy with this man and say nothing because they're friends. That's why I spared him all this time. And because I don't like pulling the house that I'm in down. I was in PDP at that time. I'm not there anymore. He and I can never be friends. I never visited his state. The only time I went there was in 2016. And after that, I went there in 2019 for the PDP convention, where his candidate lost, and he's been crying ever since. And he wants to control the party to ensure that his candidate emerges, or that he emerges as presidential candidate. Well, we're waiting for him. Let's see what will happen. I'll end on Wike by saying, or Nissan by saying this. I call him Nissan. I'll end by saying this when it comes to him. Umahi. Yes, the governor of Dëśtrõying State.
Yes.
The governor of Zamfara State. The governor of Cross River State. All of them had issues within the PDP touching and concerning this man in varying degrees. Okay, and many others had the same issue. Okay, everybody has a problem with Wike. No governor in PDP likes Wike. He is the only one that likes himself. And he's a bully. And he bullies other governors in that party as if they're children. He talks down to them. They won't tell you this openly. In fact, they'll come out to defend him, possibly. I don't know, and I don't care. That's their party. That's what this man does. Imagine a man like that having power at the center. Nobody will be safe. He talks about other people's past as if he knows anything himself. What does he know? He knocks people's testimonies. He talks about, there was a time I saw him mocking and insulting traditional rulers. We don't do that where I come from. I don't know what type of background he comes from. Insulting a traditional ruler openly in front of television cameras and so on and so forth. Well, you know what? It doesn't matter what he does in Rivers. He may be the greatest hero for Rivers State. That is between him and the Rivers people. But when he comes to the national stage and starts behaving like this, certainly we will join issues. And you'll see more of this in the coming months and years.
Okay, Chief, we're going to come back and talk about your relationship with Muhammad Buhari, the way you see him now, as well as many other stalwarts that when we return from this break. Right back.
Thank you.
All right, this is Violence Free World. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm still here with Chief Femi Kayode, and it's been a very, very interesting one. Well, Chief, now let's go back to this issue of your relationship with Muhammad Buhari. Now that you see him differently, would you be willing to work with him to move Nigeria forward? That's not just Muhammad Buhari. What about Issa Pantami, Minister of Communication, that you're reported to have vilified and quote you started in the past, antagonized. Now, your acquaintances, it seems more or less like your friends now. What's going on? What's this sudden back and forth?
Well, let me first of all start by answering you in this way. Every person that's been on the national scene, and I've been on the national scene in my own right for almost 30 years now. Okay, I've been writing, I've been commentating, I've been saying all sorts. I've fought for people's rights, and I've been a politician for almost 30 years. Never run for elective office, but I will. Now, in the course of that time, you've had differences with so many different people. Differences of opinion. Sometimes you speak harshly, sometimes you don't speak harshly. And then at other times, later perhaps you change your position on that person based on what you have discovered about them. But most importantly, on their own willingness to accommodate your views and work with you. Okay? And that's the key to this. When it comes to the issue of President Muhammadu Buhari, it was never anything personal. We had differences, or rather I had differences with him on a number of issues before 2015, during the 2015 election, and between that time and quite up until quite recently. A number of policy issues, policy differences, and the perception that I had was he was fueling certain things which I believe were inimical to the unity of my country, Nigeria. I have no other country. And therefore, I stood my ground and I spoke truth to power, courageously, unlike most people. Okay? When it became clear to me that it wasn't quite like that, it was a far more complicated issue. And two things happened, because this is a very profound question you've asked me. Give me a little time to answer it. Two things will happen. A number of things happen, but I'll focus on two. The first thing that happened, which impressed me immensely, was the fact that many of the APC governors that I started interacting with were very accommodating to me. They opened their doors. We spoke from the heart to one another. I told them my views, my challenges in terms of what's going on in the country, why I oppose the government, and so on and so forth. And they came across with a different perspective. And instead of vilifying and closing doors, they said, look, let's talk. let's find a way in which we can accommodate one another and perhaps even work together. That's number one. That couldn't have happened without President Buhari giving the go-ahead. That's where it all started. And I thought that was a pretty smart move on his part. And I continued to was smart on my part as well. And that's where all this started. Now, two major issues took place, which really made me now change my mind about where I would stand. The first one was this. We had a situation whereby this country almost came to a civil war, would have had a civil war, or the beginning of a civil war, a few months ago, 6 months ago or thereabouts. A lot of people don't know about this. And a lot of people don't appreciate it because they don't know the facts. Well, let me share some of those facts with you right now. And I stand to be corrected. I'm saying this on national television. Okay. I got a call in the middle of the night from the governor of Kogi State. By that time, we had been interacting. And he asked me to join him, that we had a bit of a situation, and he wanted me to assist. And I gladly went there.
Well, I've been speaking with Chief Femi Fani Kayode, former Minister of Aviation, and now a chieftain of the All Progressive Congress. Same time next week promises more if you endeavor to be here. Until then, please remember to remain on the road to a violence-free Nigeria. My name is Kali Ikwe. Thank you for watching. God bless. No